So I just ended up coming outside because my phone keeps ringing, and so I can't finish the video. So I was saying, um, I kept having the dreams, and I finally, one last time, I just said, um, to my husband, I'm having these dreams. I'm having a hard time sleeping, and it's not like I can't sleep because it's on my mind. It's I can't sleep because the way MOLDAVITE works is it kind of it just won't let you sleep. It was like a burning in my stomach where I couldn't sleep. I mean, I could not sleep. My stomach kept burning. It's one of those things like when you know what it won't. You have to deal with whatever it is that's bothering you. And so and then I got to the point, and I just was in the bathroom one day, and I said, God, just take this, just let it go, no big deal, whatever happened. I don't want to know about it, whatever. I'm not even sure what I was feeling. I just wanted to get some sleep, and I wanted to stop feeling this pain in my stomach. But it was so funny because Moldavite, or what I say is something from the spirit realm, said to me, um, well, if you tell your husband what you did, then he'll admit to what he did. And it was like, oh shit, wait a minute now. I wasn't ready to deal with that. Actually, I had forgotten about it. I had forgotten that a long time ago on my job, it was a bad time for me apparently, and um, I had this little thing with a gentleman I was working with. It wasn't really a thing. It was just, we got together and you know, um, we had sex. I mean, it's just hard for me to say it. It's hard for me to think about it. But I had really forgotten about it. I mean, it comes up. I'm not going to say I completely forgotten about it because every once in a while it'll pop up in my mind. But I suppress it. I won't give it energy. I just, it happened, boom, let it go. And I had really thought that I would die with that. But anyway, it's like I'm not telling nobody. I didn't even tell my closest girlfriends. So I had just decided I wasn't even going to deal with that. But, Moldavite brought it back up. And so, it needed to be dealt with, obviously. So, and also if I expected my husband to be honest, I needed to be honest too. But I just hadn't even thought about that. But so when I got that realization, this was the 18th, the day before my birthday, on a Sunday, and my husband works at night, and I work during the day, but it was at night, and I called him and I said, I've been asking you, about this dream. I'm not crazy. I know what I know. I know what I've seen, and I know, I know what I know. And I said, but it's okay, because I already know. If you don't want to share what you don't want to tell me, that's fine, because I know, but I do have to tell you what it is that I did, and I knew it was going to be hard. I didn't want to have to do that because I know how my husband is, or any man, any person. When you find out somebody you love, and especially your spouse, has cheated on you, it's a hard pill to swallow. And it's, I think most people will say that infidelity is a difficult thing to deal with, and I think men have a harder time dealing with it. And I think I'm not just saying this to make my shit look good. I think it really is harder for men to deal with it. And so when I told him, it was really hard for him. It was because I could tell by when I told him, there was complete silence. Like, I know like a million things was running through his head, and I'm sure he was angry, and I can imagine all the emotions he had. Because when he came back and said, "Okay, I got to tell you what I did," all right, I'm gonna tell you. And when he told me what I already knew, it's one thing to know it, but it's one thing to hear it too. So when I heard it, when I heard it, I was a little crushed. It hurts. Although both of our incidents, both of our infidelity moments happened. His was with a lady on his job. Mine was with a gentleman on my job. And although it had happened around the same span of time, like 17, 18, 19 years ago. I mean, it was way back when. We've been together 26 years. But it was really early on in our marriage when you really think about it. But during that time, when I look back on it, I think, um, I think we were both, of course we were living as a married couple, but we had the 4 children. We both were working. He was working a lot, and then we both were ripping and running, and we're doing what we do, pay bills, and handle the household business, whatever, and ripping and running. He was helping, he helped his parents a lot with different things, and my grandmother, I was really close to her. She just passed away a couple of years ago, but I was really close to her, and I used to help her out a lot, and so that takes a lot from your marriage. And looking back on it, um it's not to blame any one of either one of us, but sometimes there becomes a disconnect and you don't even realize it. We're so busy doing all these other things that we kind of got a little bit separated and disconnected. And I didn't realize it. Of course we didn't realize it back then. I mean, when you have 4 children, it's a lot, even for 2 people, even if you're a married couple raising 4 kids. I mean, it's so much. And then just to go to work, and when you have small children and they're all in school at the same time, it was just a lot. So I think that's where the disconnect was. And after my husband and I dealt with what had happened, and we we were cussing each other out. It's your fault. You shouldn't have been, you should have did this, and you wasn't there, and you should have done this, and I should have been, we went through all of this craziness, arguing and fussing, and, just really, I think we were just trying to deal with the anger, and you got to find blame. You got to find fault, But anyway, the point of it all was that even through all the arguing and all the fussing and all of the, pointing fingers and all of that, all of those things needed to be said, and they needed to be dealt with. And that whole situation, that infidelity, needed to be dealt with. And after dealing with it, I know that my husband, felt better, when he finally told me. He told me he did. He was carrying that around, and it was bothering him. My situation didn't bother me so much because I had suppressed it so far. But when after having known that I had told him, and that was no longer down in my spirit, it was something. It was almost like we both went through a cleansing period. I mean, everything just felt new. It felt like a weight was off my shoulders. I felt like a new person. I felt whole again. I felt I don't know, I felt clean. I felt refreshed. Just all these kind of emotions. And it was a spiritual cleansing. It was healing, so I healed from that. And I think my husband did too. And I know that because after we dealt with all that, I mean, a few days later, and, we were having sex, and, we were trying to be intimate, what I felt, it's like a whole new love for my husband. It's just a different, it was different. And not, making love was just so different. And it was like we were making love with our whole selves, not any junk hiding behind the the curtains. And the experience of sex was good. It felt so much better. I mean, it felt like it was mind, body, and soul connection. And the sex itself was so good. I mean, it's still so good. And it's like God like sprinkled a little sugar or something on the shit. I don't know. It's just so good. It's just different. And I think the point that I'm trying to make is that MOLDAVITE does that purging and that cleaning, and it hurts to go through. It hurts to admit that you did some real bad stuff. It hurts to deal with your shit. It hurts to take a long look at yourself, and admit to being wrong about things. And but it's necessary. It's necessary in order for us to grow and become better people. It's necessary for us because, when you hold on to this stuff, my husband always says this, when you hold on to stuff, you don't realize how it affects your mental capacity, but it also affects your health. When you're holding on to a whole bunch of junk and stuff, and you're dealing with unresolved issues and things that you've suppressed, it just clogs up everything, and it messes your health up. I mean, your stomach problems and heart problems and aneurysms and all kinds of shit. So MOLDAVITE, I thank MOLDAVITE for that. And I made the video just so other people can see how powerful MOLDAVITE can be. And like I said, it doesn't work for everybody the same way, but it definitely it will clean. It works on you from the inside out. You're forced to deal with all those nasty things on the inside. Some people may have a different experience than MOLDAVITE. Some people may be open and honest from the beginning so they can move on to the next level. But for the rest of us, until you clean all that gook out, you're not going to be able to move to your next level in life. So I'm thanking God for MOLDAVITE, and I'm thanking God that now I'm on the next phase of my life. It just seems like that small thing shouldn't have had such a big impact, but it did. And the other thing is, it's so funny because the Moldavite, because I sleep with it under my pillow, I think the energy is being transferred to my husband because he has really been emotional, since this situation, but a lot of other things have transpired since then. But one of the things was he was forced to deal with something in his past that had nothing to do with me, but way before I met him. But it was really something that it was a really hard situation that he had to deal with in his childhood, and it didn't force him, but it just brought up all those things. So now he's just so compassionate and confident and determined to write this book. That just came out the blue. I always encouraged him to do it, but he just kind of wrote it off. But now he's really passionate about it, and we've actually started working on his book. Physically typing, doing chapters and everything. So all of this has happened. All of this transformation has happened. It's only been about 2.5 months. I got the Moldavite in July. All of those emotions and dreams and stuff started happening about mid-August. And my birthday is August the 19th. August 18th was when we first dealt with the infidelity, and man, oh man. So it just shows you, when they say it's fast acting, it really is fast acting. It's not going to drag on until 2 years later when it's some stuff that needs to be dealt with. It's going to jump right at it, and you're going to be forced. You're not going to, unless you have superpowers, you're not going to be able to deny or dismiss whatever Moldavite is trying to tell you. It is very, very powerful. And it works. But so anyway, I wanted to be really transparent. I know that's a lot of personal information, but I wanted to be transparent because I wanted people to really get the gist of what Moldavite can do. Some people's Moldavite stories, they've had some really serious transformations. And, like I said, everybody's situation is not going to be the same. So you really got to look at, if you're considering getting Moldavite, you really need to think about, are you ready for are you ready for the roller coaster ride? It's an emotional roller coaster. And if you already are in a life of chaos or things are not settled in your life, I really wouldn't suggest dealing with Moldavite just yet. But if things have been pretty calm, your life is stable and things are okay, but there's some things you need help dealing with. Sometimes we don't have people in our lives to push us to do the right things, and sometimes we do, but we still need that extra push. And if you want something transformative, and you're ready, grab you some Moldavite. Get to one of your metaphysical stores in your area. I purchased my Moldavite. I have 3 pieces. I purchased my Moldavite. The first one, the one that's been causing the most chaos in my life, that one that I love. I call her Moldy. I call her Moldy, and I take her everywhere I go. But the first piece that I purchased was from a place called Moldavite Family online, and that one was powerful. Now, the second one I purchased was from a metaphysical store here in the DC area. I don't have that one. I gave that one to my girlfriend. But the third piece I purchased from Moldavite Family as well. So I carry those 2, and then I carry Herkimer Diamond. I keep that one with me. And, I really, even in the midst of this, and the stuff still comes up, I feel just like a new person. I'm so happy. It's just, and even at work, it's almost like I have a shield of protection from all the negativity. I work in a large building with a lot of crazy folks doing crazy things. But I have so much love and peace, and it just only draws more love and peace. All of that negativity and stuff just really just stays away from me. So there are many benefits to Moldavite. It's not just transformational. It doesn't just rip your life apart and put it all back together. There are some really good aspects. All aspects are good, but there are some more pleasurable aspects of the Moldavite. But I just wanted to share that, and I'm at 15 minutes, so I hope that this video helped somebody. And I know the video quality is kind of bad because I had to leave out of the house because my damn phone keeps ringing. So I'm in the car, and it's getting ready to get dark, so it's not a real clear video. But I hope it helped somebody. I hope this video helped you, and thanks for watching.